The next category are runtime errors. And a great example for this can be shown with the res_write method here. Now, as I mentioned, you have to return here to prevent the execution of the code after this statement. Otherwise, and this is something node specific of course, you would end the request here, but the code execution would continue, and eventually we would reach this line. And this is no syntax error, this is correct. But if we run our code here, it seems to work, right? There is no syntax error after all. But if we now visit our page, eventually it breaks here. And this is the point where you should go back to your code and should find an error message there too. And this error message is something you shouldn't just take and paste into the Q&A section, but actually read it. A lot of the error messages are indeed helpful. You just need to know how to read them. At the bottom, you always find uninteresting stuff, I'd say. But you have to scroll to the top of the error message, and all of a sudden, it should get more meaningful. For example, here, you see the error code, which already indicates that it's something with headers being sent. And then here, you actually find a detailed error message. Cannot set headers after they are set to the client. And then you see that it was caused by a call to set header. And unfortunately, the line numbers don't help you, here at least. But then it does help you here. You see it's in the request handler, and there it points at the route.js file, line 32. And now this is the point where you can dive in and see, okay, I'm calling set header here. Now, since it's complaining that I can't set them after they are sent to the client, I should look, well, in the code before this statement, because it looks like I'm finishing my response there for this example. And indeed, at some point, you should find this statement and see, I do actually not finish my code execution after this statement, which is not per se a problem, but it becomes a problem if in the following code I then work on my response again, as I'm doing it here. So now this is the point where we can fix this by stopping the code execution or by wrapping this in an extra if statement, which is guaranteed to not run if we make it into this statement. And now with that, we can of course restart our server, or actually we don't need to. We got nodemon now, so you don't need to do that. And now if you reload your page, it will work again.